Hey guys, my name is Mike. I'm happy to have you here. Today we'll be doing an hour-long vinyasa flow. We'll be moving a good amount throughout the first half of class, but we'll also be doing a nice lengthy, relaxing cool down at the end. So you can look forward to that. Feel free to modify any poses however you need to. You can skip vinyasas. You can add on vinyasas, you can take breaks at any point throughout class. So really just make this practice your own today. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. All right, friends, I'll meet you in child's pose. And as you start to find stillness here, allow some nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Try and use your breath to feel a sense of groundedness, a sense of connection between your body and your mat. In yoga, we want to try and develop a mindset of equanimity. And equanimity is a state where we're just observing everything that's happening inside our body, inside our mind, without judgment, without trying to push away things that aren't pleasant or comfortable, and at the same time not craving or wanting things to happen or experiences to happen or sensations to manifest inside our bodies that aren't there at the moment. So we're just observing with an equanimous, neutral mind. So try and develop that mindset here. Just try and observe what's happening inside the body. How am I feeling right now on an emotional level? Without judging yourself. There's no right way to feel. There's no wrong way to feel. And just take another 2 breaths or so to investigate and just notice. And then when you're ready, let's meet in a tabletop position, coming onto our hands and knees. Spread your fingertips nice and wide here. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips on top of your knees. We'll go through some cat-cows. Inhale, drop your belly down to your mat and gaze up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, round your spine, press your mid-back upwards towards the sky. Drop your head. And again, inhale, drop the belly down. Lift the rib cage and the head up. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, belly drops, gaze goes up. And exhale, rounding the back. Good, and take 1 more. Flow with your breath here. Good, and then come back to a flat back. And from here, flip your hands to face backwards towards your knees. And then gently start to drop your hips back towards your heels. And maybe rock your hips from left to right side. And just notice where you feel the stretch. You might feel it in your wrists, your forearms. Take 1 more breath. Good, and then bring your hands to face the top of your mat. Again, find that tabletop position where your shoulders are stacking over your wrists. And from here, reach your right arm towards the top of your mat and start to kick your left leg towards the back of your mat. Try and find a nice flat back, so you might have to kind of pull your belly button towards your spine to activate the core a little bit here. Good, and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your knee and your elbow to touch, crunching together. And with your next inhale, again, reach forward, kick back. And exhale again, crunch together. Good, one more time, inhale, reach forward, kick back. And this time as you exhale, lower your foot to the back of your mat, plant your foot, and then lower your right hand down. So your back foot is flat as if you're doing a warrior pose. From here, spin your right knee so that your right foot moves to the outside of your mat on the right side. And then with an inhale, reach your left arm up to the ceiling, gaze up. Take 2 breaths here, expanding your rib cage with each inhale. One more breath. Good, and with your next inhale, rise all the way up onto your legs, lift your upper body, slide your back hand down your back leg, and reverse your warrior. So reach your right arm back. Maybe even gaze up towards your top hand here. Finding length through the right side of your body. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, start to cartwheel your hands down towards the top of your mat. And we'll come back into our tabletop position here. Nice job. From here, extend your left arm forward alongside your ear, and then slowly start to send your right leg back. And you can flex your lifted foot so your toes are pointing down towards the mat. Try and activate the core. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the knee and the elbow together to touch. Good. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. And exhale, knee and elbow touch. One more time. Inhale, expand, open. Exhale, plant your back foot, back of your mat. Lower your left hand down. Spin your left knee so that the left foot moves to the outside of the mat. And then inhale, reach your right arm open. Gaze up towards your right fingertips. 2 breaths here. And next, inhale, rise all the way up onto your legs. Slide your right hand down your leg. Reverse your left arm back. Maybe gaze up towards the fingertips. 2 deep breaths. And with your next exhale, hands cartwheel down, plant at the top of the mat. Very nice job. From here, we'll move into our first downward facing dog. And I invite you to take a little movement here. Maybe rock the hips side to side, or pedal out your feet, or even shake the head. Yes and no. And then we'll meet in stillness in downward dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it out through your mouth. Good job. Gaze to the top of your mat and tiptoe your feet all the way to your hands. And we'll bring our feet hips width distance here, top of the mat. From here, plant your right hand down in the middle of your feet. And if you have a block, you can even bring a block here to bring the ground a little higher, take a slight bend in your right knee, straighten your left leg as much as you can, and with an inhale, reach your left arm open towards the ceiling, coming into a twist. And if only your right fingertips can reach the ground, that's perfectly fine too. Take one more breath here in your twist. And as you exhale, lower that left hand back down, and we'll switch hands. So left palm or left fingertips come down to the ground or to the block. Take a slight bend in your left knee. Try and straighten your right knee as much as feels comfortable today. And then with an inhale, we'll reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Maybe gaze up towards your top fingertips. And just notice where you feel the stretch again. One more breath. And with your exhale, right hand comes back down. Good. Inhale, find your first halfway lift of our practice. So you can keep your fingers on your mat or option to press your palms into your shins to lengthen the spine forwards. And with your out breath, fold forward, drop your head down. With your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, mountain pose. Gaze up, press your palms together. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Great job. And then from here, relax your hands down towards your hips. And we'll go through some sun salutations here, starting with an inhale. Reach your arms up. Mountain pose, maybe press your palms together. As you exhale, hinge from your hips. Drop your head round your spine. Good. Inhale, find that halfway lift, a flat back. As you exhale, plant your palms flat. Step your feet back, come into a high plank position. So find some activation through your abdominal muscles. Try and lift the backs of your knees upwards towards the ceiling. Notice how your legs start to engage. You can always lower your knees here at any point. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, if the knees are still lifted, go ahead, lower them down to the ground. And then we'll bend the elbows, bring your chest down to your mat. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet down into your mat. Ground down through your pelvis bone. And just lift your chest here, coming into a baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Roll the shoulders back away from your ears. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, lower the chest back down. So really starting to flow with the breath here. Inhale, press up onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. And as you exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Find stillness for 3 breaths here. Last breath. Gaze to the top of your mat and step your feet all the way to your hands. This time, option to bring your big toes together if you want to challenge your balance through our sun salutations, or if it's more comfortable, keep your feet hips width distance on the mat. Inhale, find that halfway lift position. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to stand. Extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your head down. Inhale, flat back like a wave. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank position. And we'll move into a chaturanga here, a low plank position. So bend your elbows to lower your chest. And you can hover the knees or you can lower them down, your choice. Inhale to upward facing dog this time. So lift your knees, lift your chest. And as you exhale, roll back downward facing dog. And pause here for 2 rounds of breath. At the bottom of your second exhale, gaze to the top of your mat. Step, or this time if you'd like to jump your feet forwards, feel free. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more round of these sun salutations. Inhale, extend the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. 1 breath per movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step, or if you'd like to jump back into your low plank, go for that. We'll all meet in our low plank position, knees lifted or lowered. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath here. At the bottom of the exhale, gaze forward, step or float the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, stretch your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice job. Bring your big toes together, top of your mat. Spread your toes as wide as you can. And then sit your hips down towards your heels, reach your arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. See if you can send your hips a little bit further back towards your heels, and then notice how your chest may be lowered a little bit there. So see if you can lift the arms and the chest a little higher. And then pause here for 3. Feel the sensations inside the body with an equanimous mind, just observing for 2. And 1, straighten the legs, fold forward, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. If you're tired of taking these vinyasas, you can step straight back into downward dog. If you'd like to add on a vinyasa, step back into a high plank. And then, just like we've been doing, we'll lower into our low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. So feel free to skip vinyasas at any point or add them on at any point as well. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, top of the mat. Feel free to take a couple steps to get it there. Good. From here, squeeze your right hip towards the midline of your body. Really see if you can activate the right glute and the right thigh muscles. And from here, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And with an inhale, reach the arms up, coming into warrior 1. Try and square your hips and your chest to face the top of your mat. And then bend your right knee so it stacks over the ankle. And then pause. So we hit a point in each pose where we make our adjustments and then we just find stillness, right? We find our breath. We just observe. Take 1 more breath. And as you exhale, plant your palms down. And again, you choose. So either step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa on your way back. And we'll meet there. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, place your foot between your hands. Ground your back foot flat down. And just start by squeezing that left hip towards the center of your body. And then once you feel that activation in your left leg, sweep your upper arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing down. With an inhale, rise up, warrior one. Arrive here. So take a breath or two to make your adjustments. So the chest is facing forwards, left knee stacks on top of the ankle, and then pause. Find your breath. Feel the sensations of the pose. Good, take one more breath. And with your exhale, plant the palms top of your mat, and we'll make our way back into downward dog. Whatever route you would like to take. Also remember that if you're ever feeling like you need to take a child's pose, you can always drop your knees down to the ground. Take a little rest, pause the video, no problem. Gaze to the top of your mat, step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, relax your arms, relax your head. Good. Inhale, chair pose, drop the hips, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands to heart center. So we're going to do one more round of sun bees, and this time we'll try to do one breath per movement. So if my breath counts don't line up with your breath, feel free to follow your own breath with these motions, okay? So we'll start with an inhale to sit the hips into chair pose. And as you exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into dog, or step or jump back into your low plank, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog if you're taking your vinyasa. Exhale, back downward dog. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, place your foot between your hands. Plant your back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one. One breath, arms reach up. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into dog, or take a vinyasa with me, stepping back into high plank, lowering into low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, big breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, big step forwards, back foot flat. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, warrior one. Exhale, hands return down and step straight back into your dog or move into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very nice work, yogis. Pause here. We're going to take a little breather. If you'd like to remain in downward dog for 5 breaths or so, feel free. Otherwise, feel free to take a child's pose. Drop the knees down. Wherever you go, try and just observe all the changes that have taken place inside your body. Notice if the breath is a little faster, if the heart beats a little faster. You might feel some heat that's built up inside your body, and it's all normal. Just observe. Last breath or 2, and then we'll meet back in downward dog if you took a child's pose. If you've been holding dog like me, I'm sure your arms are a little tired, so good work. Let's all gaze to the top of our mats and step or jump the feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do some balancing poses. We'll start with a tree pose on the right side. So go ahead and lift your right heel off of the ground. Option 1, bring your right heel to your left ankle, and you can keep your right toes on the ground if you'd like. Or you can slide the whole foot up on the ankle. Or the last option will be to bring your heel all the way to your inner thigh. And then let's all start hands at heart center here. Lock your eye gaze, your drishti as it's called in yoga, to one point in front of you, something that's not moving. And when we lock our eye gaze, it helps to focus the mind, to find stillness inside the body. If you're feeling steady, option to reach the arms up or keep the hands at heart center. If you'd like to challenge yourself today, I invite you to play with closing your eyes. And if you go for this option, try and stay focused on your left ankle. Even if you're not closing your eyes, try and feel your left ankle. Try and keep your whole left foot flat on the ground. Take 2 more breaths. And then slowly, if the arms are reaching up, start to bring them down to heart center. If the eyes are closed, start to blink them open. And lower your right foot down. Good. Then we'll switch sides. Left foot lifts. So start with hands at heart center. Find your drishti, find your eye gaze. Find steadiness. And then moving into your expression here. Hands can stay at heart center or arms reach up. And then stay with the eyes open or challenge yourself by closing the eyes. And even if you know you're going to fall, that's okay. Just play with it. We never want to stay in our comfort zone in our yoga practice. We always want to challenge ourselves. Take your last breath. And then slowly start to come back down. Lower the left foot down. And if you fell out of that, good job. That means that you challenged yourself. From here, kick your right foot behind you towards your right glute. Reach your right arm behind you. And then grab the right foot from the inside of the foot. So the big toe side. Extend your left arm forwards, palm facing down. Slowly start to kick your right foot into your hand. Dancer pose. It might help to take a little micro bend in your left knee here. Keep reaching forward as you kick back for 3. Make sure you're still breathing here. 2. 1 more breath. And 1. Slowly start to come back to center. Try and keep your balance. Lower your right foot down. Good. Open your palms towards the sides of your body. Samastitihi. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Slow breath out the mouth. Kick your left foot behind you. Bring your left hand to the inner arch of your foot. Extend your right arm forwards. And then slowly moving into it. You know where to go. With your inhales, maybe see if you can kick back a little more and reach your fingers a little bit further forwards. For 3, 2, last breath. And 1, slowly return to center and release the foot down. Very nice job. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, and we'll make our way back into downward dog. Step back or vinyasa back. From your downward dog, go ahead and lower your knees down to the ground and come to a seated position in the middle of your mat. And then bend your knees, so bring your big toes together here. And then from here, just lift your heels off of the ground, reach your arms forward. So we're in Navasana, boat pose. So lots of options here. You can stay just as you are. If this is a little challenging, you can always bring your hands to the backs of your knees. If this is easy and you want to move a little further, you can start to straighten your legs and then point your toes. And wherever you are, try and lift your chest for 3, 2, 1. We'll slowly move into a low boat position. So hover your heels 1 inch above your mat. Lower your head to hover above the mat. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. With an inhale, come back up high, boat. Hold here, breathe. You can do it. For 3, 2, 1. Low boat, heels drop, head drops. Try and get your low back flat on the ground if you can. For 3. I'm shaking 2 for 2. 1. Last time. Inhale up, high boat. Hold here. You can always bring your hands to the backs of the knees if you need. For 3, 2, and 1. Low boat. Last time. For 3, 2, and 1. Drop your heels down to the mat. Nice job. Bend your knees, bring your heels all the way up towards your glutes. Plant your feet about hips width distance on your mat. Lift your hips, bridge pose. So you can either press your palms down into the ground, or you can interlace your fingers and straighten your arms out. And then see if you can walk your shoulder blades towards each other on your upper back. Take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And with your exhale, if you have a bind with your hands, release it. Slowly lower your back down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to drop open towards the sides of your mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. And then bring a hand over your heart and a hand over your belly. Maybe even invite your eyes to close here. And just try and observe with an equanimous mind just what's happening. Notice your heartbeat. Feel your breath. And you might ask yourself, how do I feel? What does that mean? And we're feeling sensations inside the body. We're feeling the sensation of the heartbeat, the vibrations of the heartbeat. Right? We're feeling the sensation of the breath as it comes in, as it goes out. The sensation of your hand rising and falling on top of your belly with each breath. And you can stay here for a couple more breaths. If you'd like to come into happy baby, feel free to meet me there. And in happy baby, if you'd like to add in some movement, you can rock side to side. I think one of the reasons yoga is so effective at making us more in touch with ourselves emotionally is because we feel emotions inside our body as sensations. And throughout our yoga practice, we practice feeling different sensations inside our body. So we get better at noticing how we feel and being more in touch with ourselves in that way. And from here, we'll hug the knees into the chest. Bring your hands to the backs of your knees, and then rock and roll up and down your mat 3 times, going 1 vertebrae at a time. And on the 3rd time, we'll land at the top of the mat in a seated position, and from here, come into a wide-legged position. So bring your legs as wide as feels comfortable for you. And then try and spin your legs internally. So we call it internal rotation, so that your toes are pointing towards the ceiling. So if you relax them, you'll notice that the toes start to fall back. So see if you can get your toes to face up towards the ceiling. Best that you can, doesn't have to be perfect. With an inhale, reach your right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, reach your right hand over towards the left foot. And you might start to feel a nice side body stretch here. And this is a perfect place to be. If it's accessible, option to bring your right hand to the outer edge of your left foot. And if it doesn't reach today, don't worry about it. You're perfect wherever you are. You're doing great. Take 1 more breath. And then slowly start to rise back up to center. Inhale, reach the left arm up. And as you exhale, reach the left hand over to the right foot. And as you reach, see if you can spin the left side of your chest and rib cage open towards the ceiling. And again, this is an awesome place to be. I'm sure you're feeling this already. If it's there for you, option to bring the hand to the outside of the foot. Take 2 more breaths. Good, and start to rise back up. Go ahead and bring your big toes together and then start to lower onto your back. And we'll move into an inversion. So you can do a waterfall pose, lift your legs up towards the ceiling. Or you can take shoulder stand, bringing your hands to your low back. And then starting to walk them up towards the mid-back. Toes point. Allow these closing poses to really be meditative poses. So I'm not going to talk as much. Just do your best to follow your breath, to feel your body, and maybe notice your thoughts. Notice whenever your mind starts to wander, and without judgment, see if you can bring it back to the breath and back into your body. If you'd like to move into a plow pose, feel free to drop the feet behind your head. If these inversions ever feel uncomfortable in your body, you're always welcome to move out of them at any point. Listen to your body. If you're in plow pose, if it feels okay, if you want to take it one step further, we'll come into Karnapidasana. So bend your knees towards your ears and then gently squeeze your knees towards your ears. Notice where you feel the stretch. Breathe into it. 2 more breaths. Slowly start to roll out onto your back. Allow your feet to land at the top of your mat with your big toes together. From here, we'll move right into a fish pose, Matsyasana. So there's 2 ways we can take fish. First way, you'll lift your upper back and you'll come onto your elbows here, and then drop your head back. Option 2, pretty much the same thing, except this time, crown of the head comes down on top of the mat. I'm going to take the first variation because it's very hard to talk in that second one. Take some nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Try and lift your chest, especially your sternum, so your chest bone up towards the ceiling. Relax your throat, drop your head. Take 2 more breaths. And slowly start to bring your chin back towards your chest, and we'll lower the upper back down on the mat. From here, hug your knees into your chest, and we'll take a quick figure 4 stretch. So cross your right ankle over on top of your left knee. So the outer right ankle should be right below your left knee here. And then you can grab the back of your left knee with your hands. And this is a nice pose because you can control how much of a stretch you get. So the more that you pull your legs towards your body, the more you'll notice a stretch in your right hip. So just find that place of tension and stop there when you find it. If you have any knee problems, you can also flex your right foot to help protect your right knee if that feels better for you. Take 3 deep breaths. One more breath. Good. From here, straighten your left leg, drop your left foot down at the top of your mat. Hug your right knee into your chest, and we'll move into a supine twist. So with your left hand, guide your right leg over to the left side of your mat. Open your right arm to the right side. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder. Take 3 breaths. And slowly start to twist back to center. Again, hug both of your knees into your chest. And this time we'll cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh, right below the knee. And then you can grab the back of your right knee with your hands, maybe interlace your fingers if that feels nice and comfortable for you. Go for 3 mindful breaths. Breathing into your left hip, softening the left hip with each breath. And from here, lower your right heel down towards the top of your mat with a straight right leg. Hug your left knee into your chest and move into your supine twist. Allow your left knee to fall over to the right side. Open your left arm to the left, gaze over your left shoulder. Take 3 rounds of breath. And start to come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. And this time wrap your arms around your shin bones. So kind of giving yourself a little hug here. You might see if you can get your lower back flat on the ground, the best that you can. Kind of squeeze your thighs towards your rib cage. And then start to lift your forehead upwards towards your knees. So we're squeezing everything together. Take one more deep breath in through your nose. And this time let it out through your mouth. Big sigh as you release your legs, moving into Shavasana pose. So we've made it to our resting pose. Good work. Find any position that's comfortable. You might allow your eyes to close. You might take some movements, maybe wiggle your fingers or wiggle your toes. Anything that will encourage your body to really relax and let go here. And letting go really starts inside our body. It starts by relaxing all the different parts of the body. And then oftentimes the mind will follow. The mind might start to get a little bit more quiet and a little bit more open. But it starts within the body. So see if you can focus on relaxing your body throughout our Shavasana here. Allow a nice deep breath into your body. Feel the air as it rushes in. And a slow breath out the mouth. And start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Again, feel your body just lying here. And take another deep breath. Reach your arms overhead, a full body stretch. Spread your fingers. Point through your toes. And then roll onto either side, coming into a fetal position. And then we'll make our way up to a seat, top of the mat. And feel free to keep your eyes closed here. We'll find a nice tall spine. So with Thanksgiving coming up, I thought we'd just close this practice with a quick gratitude meditation together. So there's been a lot of research in recent years about the benefits that gratitude has on our minds and our well-being, our mental well-being. So just start by closing your eyes if they aren't closed already. Soften your shoulders, relax your spine. You might just start by focusing on your breath. Notice the feeling of the breath. And then I invite you to bring something to mind that you're grateful for. So it can be absolutely anything. It could be a person in your life. It could be something about yourself that you appreciate. It could be something that you own. It could be absolutely anything. And if nothing comes to mind immediately, you can never go wrong with being grateful for something simple like having a body that's capable of carrying you through your days and through your yoga practice, or being grateful for having food to eat or having shelter to live in. And once you have something, see if you can really engulf yourself in the feeling of gratitude. So again, coming back into the body, see if you can feel those vibrations of gratitude resonating from the inside out within your body. You might ask yourself, what would my life be without this thing or person or quality that you're thinking of? And then bring your attention back to your breath. Feel the natural flow of the breath as it comes in and as it goes out. Bring your hands to heart center, press your palms together. And we'll take one last breath to close our practice. A nice deep inhale through the nose. And let it out through your mouth. And then when you're ready, blink open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel good and rejuvenated and energized. Again, my name is Mike. I really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Maybe drop me a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear how you did and just hear from you in general and connect with you. And if you want to see more of my videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.